Now I'm going to tell you about all of these definitions together كده شاكب براكب هنقولهم كلهم على بعض and then we're going to read it from the sheet. To be a programmer, you must write a program under the concept of programming. So to start this, I'm going to start with what is programming. A programming is a way of solving problems. So when I'm going to tell you that I have a problem with the multiplication tables, I cannot memorize it. So this is a problem. So I asked you to solve my problem with writing a program. Teach me how to memorize these calculations. Maybe you're going to use UC Math. Maybe you're going to use sounds, images, whatever you're going to use, but you're going to retrail a program for me to solve my problem. I have a problem with recording the students in Nile schools with their grades, with their numbers, with their context, with their references. So I'm going to design a program for storing their names, calculating their grades, and contact with the references and sending mails and information for them. So we start with the word programming. Programming is a way of solving a problem. طيب خلاص, I'm going to a programming field, I will block of the programming. So I need to write a program. So what the meaning of a program? A program is a number of instructions written in order, and the computer will gonna to process this to give you an output. All right, so you will be a programmer to write this program. To write this program, you must learn one of the programming languages, or we call it a high-level languages. What the meaning of programming languages or high-level languages? As you learned English, حضرتك بتتعلميها الفوكاب بتاعتها. At the beginning, we're going to start to learn letters, numbers, الفوكاب بتاعتها, الجرامر بتاعها, to be able to write a paragraph, an email, a letter, or whatever. Now, for the computer, you must learn languages related to programming. We have different number of programming languages, and inshallah, in this year, we're going to take the most important language, what we call it Python. Now, the programming languages is the ability to you, a programmer, to learn a language is related some to the English languages. For example, we're going to start programming with Python. You will find that you use the word print to get an output. You use the word input to let the user input some values for you. The word print, the word input is an English word, but with another meaning in our programming languages. We also, in our programming languages, have our own grammar. As you will use I with am, he, she, and it with is. And also we have in our programming languages some rules or some grammar you must follow. Maybe you use a semicolon, double quote, indentation and space, hashes. We will know this in details when we start the practical section. But when you start typing this program in English language, this program must convert it to the machine languages. What the machine language? The machine language is a language related to a computer language with the binary system, zeros and ones. But I don't have the ability to write the program with zeros and ones. دي هتبقى مصيبة أصلا. So I write the program in the English language, and then I need a converter. Something will be in between to translate my programming languages to the machine languages. Actually, we have two different converters in the world of the computer science, with the one is compiler and the second is interpreter. Till grade 9, I don't need you to know more than this. You write a programming languages, and then to convert it to the machine language to let the computer understand you and give you the output you are looking for, you need a converter. Two converters we have in our computer world, compiler and interpreter. There's a big difference between both, but what you need to know in grade 9 that both compiler and interpreter is a converter used to convert the programming languages the machine languages. Now I'm going to stop and share screen, and you can unmute your sound if you have a question till this point. If you don't have any question, just type the word yes. No questions for all? If you are sure that you don't have any questions, I'm going to ask you. Yvette, okay. So let's continue. With the sheet, so I explained what the meaning of software. Software equal program, which is a number of lines of instructions you are going to follow in order. Now, with the algorithm for a while, the programming is a process of solving problems. I'm going through step in my problem to solve it. This is the programming way. To write a program under the umbrella of the programming, you need to learn a programming languages, and then these programming languages is converted to the machine language inside the computer. Okay, I let the algorithm definition, I know, but I let it to the second hour of the session. I'm going to avoid this now. Now I have three main important definitions: dry run, trace table, and single step. What this means, Miss Amani? If you're going to read a flow chart, وإحنا أخذنا الفلو chart that during the past years in grade 6, you must follow this flow chart with some tested data. And let me ask you about what the meaning of tested data. Let me choose one to answer me. Miss, unmute your sound. Can you remember what the meaning of testing data?
No.
You cannot remember? We used it before in block number 2.
ثانية كده يا ميس.
Testing data.
Testing data.
Yep.
لا مش فاكرة.
Jumana Hasham, can you remember what the meaning of testing data? Jumana. Jumana, are you here? Can you hear me? Jumana. Okay, I don't know about Jumana. مريم شاكر.
أيوة.
Yes, Mariam Shakir. Do you remember what the meaning of testing data and its types?
لا.
We took this before in block number 2.
أنا عارفة أو تقريبا عارفة يعني مش عارفة.
طب ثواني كده نشوف. مريم, you cannot remember?
لا.
Okay, yes يا جنة.
جوانا بتقول لحضرتك المايك بتاعها بايظ.
خلصنا انا قريتها تمام. Thank you.
It's when we give the computer like a function واللي بيطلع بيبقى an expected result. احنا بنبقى عارفين اللي هيطلع.
Sometimes maybe I'm not sure about what the output be, but it's testing data. It's related to 3 different types else.
Miss Amani هي data validation?
No, it's not related to data validation or verification.
اللي هي ميس
طب ممكن هقول
invalid data.
No.
مش هو ميس داتا اللي هو انا بعمل لها تيستنج.
No, I need the specific answer. أنا عايزة الإجابة الصح كده طلقة على طول. جويرية, can you give me the answer because you raised your hand? Just a minute. جويرية, you raised your hand. Can you give me the correct answer?
أنا مش متأكدة بس هي المفروض إن هي الانبوت اللي بديه الكمبيوتر وفي منه تايبس اللي هي النورمال والابنورمال وكده.
Excellent. Thank you يا جويرية. This is what I'm looking for. التستد data يا شباب, we explained it before in block number 2 about normal data, abnormal and extreme data. To test a program, you need to have a data to test this program. عشان تشوف البروجرام هيبيهيف ازاي مع ال different types of data. So when I back to our definition, عشان تعرفوا ان البلوكس كلها بتبقى متربطة ببعض. A dry run is a process mentally done by the human, وده اللي احنا هناخد فيه الحصة بتاعتنا النهاردة. This is a process mentally by the human. You have a line of codes. You are go through each line of these codes step by step, and seeing what's happened during this program. ده انت هيجيلك في الامتحان which is an expected question. The question بيجي كل سنة. The tracing table. What the meaning of tracing table, when you are go through an code or a flow chart with some kind of testing data, you must record each step in a trace table. So both are related together. Dry run, it's a process to go through a flow chart أو الcodes mentally by the human عشان تعرف the output of this program, is it right or wrong? Sometimes maybe I wrote something wrong وأنا ما خدتش بالي. I'm not sure if that I find the correct output or not. Maybe I'm going to type 2 + 2, but I mean 2 × 2. When I go through this program, I will find the answers 4, but this is by chance. But I need to test this program mentally before going to write this program to the computer. About the single step, a single step is the same process. إن هو هيgo through each line in your program to find for you an error. But the single step done by the computer. But the dry run done by the programmer. So you get the meaning of these 3 definitions? Type for me yes if you know about this. Only 1 yes? 2? Ganna, you have a problem with this?
ميس أنا مش فاهمة يعني إيه dry run.
اوكي dry run يا جنة زي الاكزامبلز اللي احنا هنعملها النهارده براكتيكال. انا هديكي فلو تشارت او هديكي كود واقول لك يا جنة try this code with number 8 which is a normal data. فحضرتك هتمشي لي line by line through this code وهتقولي لي على فكرة when I used number 8 the output was expected. فعلا هو اللي احنا عايزينه واللي احنا طالبينه. هروح مدياكي مثلا number -100. اقول لك test بقى this program with -100 فتقولي لي the output is out of the range لان فعلا this is abnormal data. So the meaning of dry run ان حضرتك بعقلك كبني ادم go through the program line by line step by step to find the answer. You get it?
تمام.
Okay, when you start go through the program line by line and step by step لما تمشي على البروجرام جزء جزء وحتة حتة you will record the results in some tables. We call it a tracing tables. And we're going to try this practically today إن شاء الله.
ميس يعني أنا بستخدم trace tables عشان أعمل dry runs.
Yes, to record the result of the dry run.
تمام أوكي.
Okay? Now all of you done for this point? تمام. Let's go to the practical section related to the definition dry run and single stepping. Now, can all of you open your sheet, page number 14? Page number 14, this page. This page, guys, can you open it? Now, this page representing a flow chart with different values for the x variable. X variable will start with 85, now 3,190, and -40. They asked you to go through this flow chart and then fill this tracing table. أهو ده tracing table يا جنة. Let's do this practically. Here we go, guys. I have this table, which is, we call it a tracing table. And now I'm going to go step by step, what we call it dry run. Ali input X. I'm going to start with the first value of X, which is 85. Now, I typed here 85. Go through the flow chart in order. Now it's told me n equal 1. So I'm going to type 1 in the column related to n. Now t equal x. So I'm going to write the value of x in the column t. Now the flow chart asked you to divide the x value by 10. So I'll divide it 85 divided 10. I'll get 8.5. Now, is x less than 1? Is the value of x less than 1? No. So I'm going to increment n by 1. So n was 1. I'm going to add 1 to this will be 2. And then I'm going to follow this line. Asked you to redivide x by 10. So I'll get 0.85. Is it less than 1? Yes. So now you need to input the last value of t and the last value of n. So I'm going to type in the output column 85,2. ايه رأيكم في اللي حصل ده؟ Did you understand what I did? Approximately even 50%.
ميس
Rukaya,
أماني
do you want to say something?
يس هو أنا فاهمة كل حاجة ما عدا 85 و 2 ليه حضرتك حطيتيهم في الآخر؟
Because, look here يا رقية. In the question asked you to output here in this section. Can you see it? Output t, n. So in the output column, I need to output 85, which is the value of t, the value of the n, it's 2. So that's why I did it like this. You get it? Ruqayya, you get it?
يس يا ميس شكرا.
Okay, Mariam, do you want to ask a question? Mariam El-Nadi.
يا ميس
Yes,
هو
حبيبي.
احنا بنعمل كل دوت ليه يعني ده نستفاد منه ايه في الاخر؟
Because as a professional programmer, ya Mariam, you must test your program before go to program this on the computer. As I told you, أنا كان قصدي إن أنا أعمل 2 times 2. لما جيت عملتها في البروجرامينج بتاعي كتبتها 2 plus 2. By chance هتطلع 4 هنا و 4 هنا. So I must test my program by self mentally because before going to type it in the programming languages. It's a way of professionality. You get it? All right. Mariam Walid. Yes.
ميس هو الأرقام اللي هو مديها لي اللي هو 3190 ونيجاتيف 40 هو مديها لي ليه؟
This is different values for x. So we are going to solve this question 3 times.
مرة بال 85 ومرة بال 3000.
Yes. We're going through solve it with the second way now.
تمام اوكي.
Okay, now put your hands down. Thank you very much. I'm going to solve it with the second way, the second example. Now, we finished the first way. Moving to the second way, I'm going to input now the number x with the value 3190. So I'm going to input x by this way. Now n still equal 1 and t will get the value of x, so t will be 3190. Now I'm going in order, in sequence, following the rules of the flow chart. So I'm going to divide the value of x by 10. So I'll get I get 319. Now, is it less than 1? No. So I'm going to increment n by 2. Now, back with the arrow, I'm going to divide the value of x by 10. So I get 31.9. Is it less than 1? No. I'm going to increment n by 1. It will be 3. Now, back to the dividing x by 10, I'll get 3.1. Is it less than 1? No. I'm going to increment the value of n with 4. Back to division, I get 0.319. Is it less than 1? Yes. So you are going to use the output column to present the value of T, which is 3,190, and the value of N, which is 4. Now, is it more clear for all of you? Mariam, you need to ask a question? Mariam النادي.
لا يا ميس انا كنت بس نسيت اشيل الريز.
Okay, Jana, yes حبيبي, you want to ask a question?
يا ميس هو المفروض الفلو شارت دي ازاي اعملها؟
لا ازاي اعملها دي لسه سيكشن تاني في البلوك. احنا دلوقتي بنخلص المين definitions with الtracing. Now you have a problem with tracing?
ميس أماني.
Yes يا جنة.
هو أنا دلوقتي عندي سؤال، هو إحنا ليه واخدين اللي هي 3190 ليه مش واخدين اللي هي 0.319؟
Which one sorry؟
مش المفروض ناخد آخر رقمين؟
The last value of T and N. ال T value أهي. ال T value أهي ما اتغيرتش. I'm not talking about the X value. I'm talking about the T value and N value.
تمام.
You get it? So solve the same question for the third time with the third value of X. Now I'm going to put -40. And now I'm going with N value, which is equal 1, and X will be -40. Now I need to divide X with 10. So I'll get -4. Is it less than 1? Yes. والله ما قصر الصراحة يعني السؤال خلص في لحظة اهو. So yes, so I'm going to output the value of T, comma, the value of N. So you get it how to solve this one? Okay, to test the dry run with a flow chart. احنا جربناها مع بعض دلوقتي with a flow chart. Can all of you جري كده bring a code in page 21? I told you in the tracing will dry run be done إما على الفلو chart أو على الكود. So let's try this with the code. نشوف هو هيعمل لي إيه مع الكود. تمام. Let's start with this example. اللي n equal 24, number 1 equal 24, number 2 equal 2, and the count equal 0. ما عليك إلا by the way this is a question من ال past papers related to grade 9. كل ما عليك إن أنت going to add these values inside the correct columns. يبقى n1 ب 24, so number 1 with 24, number 2 with 2, and the count with 0. Now I have a loop here. While loop. We're going to discuss it in details إن شاء الله next session. فبيسألني هنا هل count less than 6؟ count less than 6. So it's true. So I'm going to follow these two lines. هعمل إيه؟ Get number 1 and divide it by number 2. يبقى أنا I will get 12. And then increment the count by 2. It was 0 plus 2. I'll get 2. Now again, to check the condition, is the count less than 6? Yes. So I'm going to divide number 1 by number 2. I'll get 6. And then incremental count by 2. I'll get 4. Then back, is the condition still true? I'll count less than 6. I'm going to divide again number 1 by number 2. I'll get 3, and incremental counter by 2. I'll get 6. In this step, is the count less than 6? No. The condition هنا وقف. يبقى ساعتها يا شباب, this is the final result of the tracing table. Any problems in this? Is it clear for all of you? Okay. I'm going to input a number, which is 7. دي كانت in step number 1, so I added in row number 1. Now with the count, total, and neg, I'm going to add these values inside row number 2. ليه؟ ده it's just organizing. أنا برتب بس ال values. because this is step number 2, I added in row number 2. Now input ال temp.
السكرين شير يا مس.
shared. اوكي لو كنت بروفيشنال وعملت following وتريسنج كتير قوي you can go through inputting الداتا بالcolumn مش بس بالروز. and by the way very important point grade 9 كامبريدج وهي بتصحح التريسنج بتصححه بالcolumns. فهي شايفه ان column number 1 for example المفروض ما يبقاش فيه غير value 7 so we'll get 1 mark. الكاونت هيبقى فيه 50 value كلهم بتصححهم ب1 mark. You get it? So now with the temp value بيقول لي input الtemp. I'm going to start with -5. بس في بعض الأحيان in some situations I can go to input all of the temp values عشان أبقى خلصت نفسي. ما هو مديهم لي كلهم على بعض. So I'm going to input all of the temp values inside the temp column. And then I'm going to check هو هيحصل ايه. قال لي التمب اللي انت دخلتيها دي greater than or equal to 20 no. هل هي less than or equal للزيرو yes. يبقى I'm going to increment the neg value by 1. يبقى النeg عندي هنا it was 0 هيبقى عندي ب 1. Going with the flow line I'm going to increment الكاونت ب plus 1.
معلش يعني ايه neg بس؟
دي اسماء الفاريبلز هو مسميها كده.
ماشي.
في ناس ادمت just a minute يا شباب.
يا صاصة
اوكي I'm sorry بس عشان هو بيعمل hanging up في النص. Okay now I'm going to follow the flow line. I'm going to increment the count by 1 يبقى بقى عندي 2. Then هل ال count less than or equal للنمبر؟ Yes, ال count less than a number. So I'm going with the flow line yes. With the second temp it's 0. It's greater or equal to 20? No. It's less than or equal to 0? Yes. يبقى I'm going to increment the count again by 1. يبقى بقى عندي ب 2. And then follow the line to increment the count by 1. فبقى عندي ال count ب 3. Still this condition is true, is valid. So the count is less than or equal to number. I'm going with the flow line yes. أشوف ال temp اللي بعدها it's 5. Is it greater than or equal to 20? No. Is it less than or equal to 0? No. So in this step, I'm going to increment only the count. Still the count less than the number. So I'm going to check the value of the temp again. It's less than or equal to 0 because it's -4. So I'm going to incremental neg here and then incremental count. The count is still less than or equal to number. The condition is valid. It's true. So I'm going to check the value. It's 0. So I'm going to incremental neg by 1 and incremental count also by 1. The count لسه أقل من النمبر. يبقى I'm going to input the temp اللي هي 10. It is greater than or equal to 20? No. Less than or equal to 7? No. I'm going to increment the count only. The count less than or equal للنمبر both are equal. يبقى يا شباب still the condition is valid. So I'm going with the yes flow line. With the -2, it's less than or equal to 0. So I'm going to incremental neg by 1 and also incremental count by 1. It's 8. Is it less than or equal to number? No. يبقى I'm going to output التوتال كوما النج. التوتال كان عندي ب0 كوما النج value 5 يبقى the output in the output column هيكون 0.5.
بس هو ممكن يقول لي انا بقى يديني الانفورميشن دي وانا ارسم الفلو تشارت.
يس وده اللي احنا هنعمله next session ان شاء الله يوم الاحد الجاي. بس خلينا في التريسنج دلوقتي. هل التريسنج كده تمام؟
انا مش حصه في الاسبوع؟
one session 2 hours للسيشن الواحده. يعني احنا النهارده عندنا لحد 10:30.
ماشي.
اوكي؟ ها any questions يا شباب till this point؟ تمام. طيب خليني اجرب اخر example انا اعمله معاكم وبعدين ابتدي اسال بقى. Let's go with this example. The same flow chart. وخلي بالك في الامتحان يا شباب عشان sometimes هو بيديك tricky كده ان هو بيديك different values تطبقها على نفس الفلو chart او على نفس الكود and some students ما بياخدش باله فهو مجرد ما بيطبقها مرة واحدة خلاص. sometimes بيعمل فيك tricky ان هو بيعمل لك add للنمبر of rows هنا اكتر من الانسرز المطلوبة فيلخبطك تقول ايه ده فاضل 3 rows. انا كده وقعت value. no. خليك واثق ان اللي انت بتعمله هو الصح. محمد اشرف concentrate على السيشن وبعدين نشوف الجدول. So I'm going to solve this one. Input number with 6. دي كانت step number 1 so I added in row number 1. Now count total and neg. This is step number 2, so I'm going to add these values in row number 2. Input the temp. I have different values for the temp ahead. You can add it one by one, or you can add it inside the column. ونخلص. Now I'm going to check the first temp. It's 21, greater than or equal 20, yes. So you are going to count the total القديم plus the temp. It was 0. When I'm going to add 21, I'll get 21. Then going with the flow line, I'm going to incremental count by 1 till I get 2. Still a count less than or equal in number, right? So I'm going with the flow line, yes. With the second temp, 20. It's greater than or equal lil 20, yes. So we're going to add a new temp with the total. So we will get here 41. Going with the flow line, I'm going to incremental count by 1. So I will get 3. Still the count less than a number. So I'm going to check this one. It's 30, greater than or equal to 20. So I'm going to incremental total by adding a new temp lead. So I will get here 71. Going with the flow line, I'm going to incremental count by 1. I'll get 4. If the condition is still true, I'm going to check the temp اللي بعدها. Greater than or equal to 20? No. Less than or equal to 0? No. So I'm going to increment only here the count. The condition is still true and still valid. So I'm going to check the second temp, which is 21. So I'm going to add the total with this temp. So I'll get 92. And then with the flow line, I'm going to incremental count by 1. So I will get 6. Still the condition is true. So I'm going to check the value of the temp. It's 19. Greater than or equal 20? No. Less than or equal is 0? No. So I'm going to incremental count by 1. I will get 7. هل الcondition still is true? No. So I'm going to print the total common neg. So in the output column, I'm going to add 92,0. Is it clear for all يا شباب؟ Oops.
ميس
Okay, dears. Any questions till this point?
ميس
Yes.
هو مصطفى محسن بيقول لحضرتك نو، انا بس عارف ان هو ما عندوش مايك فعشان كده قلت لحضرتك.
Okay. Any questions يا شباب؟ Okay. طيب. Could you please all of you open your sheet page number 18? And all of you, you have only 10 minutes. I'm going to check على الجروب مين أسرع واحد هيبعت لي الانسر. So you are going to solve this section by yourself, this question by yourself. Page 18.
انا ما طبعتش شيء، ممكن اعمل تيبل انا لنفسي واعملها.
Yes اللي مش ملحقش يطبعوا اعملوا على ورق. احنا we did this with group B. اللي ملحقش يطبعوا او عنده problem في البرينتر get page 18. That's why I told you you're gonna to have a soft copy. Draw a trace table. Draw the trace table على paper and start solve it. Now I'm going to open the stopwatch. You have only 10 minutes. I'm going to check the first 5. Send me الimage على الجروب. Come on, all of you concentrate on this. I'm waiting يا شباب لأول 5.
ثواني يا ميس معلش.
يس يا أشرف.
ممكن تجيب لنا صورة البتاع لأن الشيت ما فيهوش نمبرز.
هو لما بعمل سكرين شيت يهنج بس تمام ماشي.
سو فين
This one يا شباب. Page 18. I shared the screen أهو.
طب والتيبل فين؟
أهو أهي تحتها أهو. فيا هبين التيبل يا هبين الفلوت شارت.
ثانية واحدة بس أنا التيبل.
أوكي.
خلاص أنا اشتريت الحركة بس تجيب
أوكي.
شكرا.
Here's the flow chart.
يا ميس هو انا مثلا بيقول لي السي ايكوال 1 لازم اكتب السي في رول لوحده ولا hours في رول لوحده؟
I told you it's better for you. It's better for you علشان to manage التريس بتاعك. بس لو كتبتهم كلهم في the same line مفيش مشكلة هيشتغل صح.
ماشي تمام شكرا.
ثواني ممكن بس بعد إذن حضرتك ترجعي التيبل تاني ثانية بس.
Okay. Here is the table.
بس تمام شكرا ثواني.
ماشي، أنا معرفش هتبقى صح ولا غلط، بس أنا
ماشي send it.
لسه بس فاضل لي 3 أرقام كمان.
Okay. We're going to correct it together بس عشان أتأكد إن أنت فهمت.
هو average equal total square root of 7 ولا ايه؟ دي ايه؟
الافريج هو التوتال divided by 7. Yes, I received one. تمام. Let me check. يا زيزو هو بيقول لك output الافريج كوما الهاي. output الافريج كوما الهاي اهي. يا عز هاني
عنده مايك.
اوكي for عز الدين هاني check الاوتبوت column. اوكي all right يا مارتن. thank you. أيمن تمام يا أيمن
صح؟
يس
الحمد لله.
اوكي تمام يا عز كده. اوكي يوسف أحمد
الدعبي.
ايوه انا عارفه. انا اتصدمت عشان في غلطه. يوسف احمد الغلطه هنا هي غلطه addition وسبتراكشن وحاجات كده، مش غلطه اي سي تي. تشيك الفاليوز يا يوسف. تشيك الفاليوز يا يوسف. انت عندك غلطه في التوتال كولم اللي خلاه ياثر على الافريج وعلى الاوتبوت طبعا. So check this again. أحمد سليم أو
مس اللي عنه صح.
أحمد سليم check the hours column. check the hours column يا أحمد سليم ال hours column. Now يوسف محمد. يوسف محمد do I need to incremental C till 9 هو بيقول لي ان السي لو less than or equal لل 7 يبقى once ان هي وصلت لل 8 هيقف. يوسف محمد check this، في problem فيه. عبد الجواد مش هقلبها لي عبد الجواد.
مش هنطلع 6 و 10.
يس
اصور.
يس عبد الجواد صح.
تمام يا مس.
يا ميس بس هي هتلاقيها وحشة يا ميس عشان مش عاملها على
عندك
التيبل،
يا اشرف وانا هشوفها.
عاملها كاستيوم.
علي علي تشيك الهاي كولوم والتوتال ستارتنج with 0 هو والهاي. الستارتنج فاليو فور both high and total اهي equal 0. تشيك الهاي كولوم والستارتنج فاليوز يا علي. محمد اشرف محمد اشرف but you added في hours number 9 twice. محمد
يعني
اشرف انت عملت adding في hours number 9 مرتين which is not right.
فين انهي حتة؟
column hours. hours column انت عامل adding ل 9 and then you are added 9 again.
مش ثواني كده.
check this. جمال
معلش يا ميس.
تمام يا باشا احنا بنراجع مع بعض.
هشطبها طبعا.
جمال يا جمال.
يعني هي دي الغلطة الوحيدة يا ميس؟
يس 38.9 في التوتال. اما تجمع عليها الاورز هتديك كام؟ $38.9 هتجمع عليها 3.1 هيديك كام؟ يا جمال
42 المفروض تبقى 42.
طيب يبقى هي هتبقى 42 divided by ال 7 يبقى
هيديني حاجة مختلفة.
هيديك في الافريج 6. وخلي بالك يا جمال as I mentioned في اول السيشن ان كامبريدج بتصحح بالكولمز، فلو في فاليو واحده في الكولم طلعت غلط بتطير الدرجه بتاعته كلها. Now I'm going to stop receiving till this.